Hi guys, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and I'm back with the January 2017 Horror Pack unboxing. If you enjoy the video, please leave it a like rating. Alright, so we got the January 2017 Horror Pack. This is 4 Blu-rays in the mail for $25 shipped. If you guys are interested in ordering, I do have a discount link below. They're going to send 12 limited editions or Horror Pack exclusives or something in each one this year, which is pretty cool. They're upping their game. I think they've kind of gotten more popular. And I think they're cool. I've gotten all but one pack so far of the Blu-rays. Let's check it out. So I remember they always post these clues on their Instagram. And there was one, it's like, this town will be doomed to relive its bloody past or something, and I was like, I guessed Home Alone 3. Guessing I was wrong. But, so you get this box, and they come in a bubble mailer. I always kind of try to not see what they are, and then guess what they are by the backs. Well, that's the front, but I didn't see what it is. Alright. This looks like a zombie movie, and it's George Romero. So I'm going to guess Diary of the Dead. Oh, Diary of the Dead. I don't know how well you guys can see these with this setup. From George Romero, I haven't seen this one, it's been a while. I think didn't they do Diary of the Dead 2 already in one of these, which is cool. I like, obviously, to have both. From legendary Fright Master George A. Romero comes one of the most daring, hypnotic, and absolutely vital horror films of the past decade. Romero continues his influential Dead series, this time focusing on the terrified group of college film students who record the pandemic rise of flesh-eating zombies while struggling for their own survival. Intensely gruesome and relentlessly grisly, fueled by the director's signature realistic special effects, Diary of the Dead is a must-see horror that is Romero at his finest. So George Romero is kind of known for creating the zombies. I don't know if he created the whole genre, but you know, he created Night of the Living Dead, which kind of launched this whole zombie phenomenon, which has seen resurgence, you know, in the last 10 years or so. I don't remember anything specific about this. This came out in 2007, and I probably watched it that year or the next year, so you know, hard to believe we're closing in on almost 10 years. Alright, this one's from Scream Factory. I don't know what this is, unless I try to I try not to read any of it, just the pictures and whatnot. Let's see. This truly frightening modern ghost story follows Daniel Williamson, a 17-year-old boy under house arrest for cyber-stalking a classmate. With his mother away on business, obsessive Daniel flirts with the idea of reconnecting with the classmate Mona Grace. Oh, sorry. But fate has different ideas for him when Mona is driven to desperate measures and Daniel discovers that someone or something is now stalking him. With the tables turned, Daniel becomes trapped in a house he cannot leave. With a malicious presence he can't escape. I have no clue what this is. Also starring Peter Stormare, a swirling nightmare of dubious motivations into jarring wallop of a film with a gleefully dark finale that will leave you reeling. Dark Summer. Some crushes last forever. I'm not sure I've heard of this one. I don't know, something about this slipcover just looks off to me though. I don't know, it's kind of strange. I don't know if you guys can really see that. It just kind of seems like the picture's a little blurry maybe. And I guess that's how it is on the inside. I haven't heard of this one. Have you guys heard of that one? Dark Summer. Alright, they seem to have all been facing up, so I'll try. Oh, this is our Horror Pack exclusive. So I have no clue what this is called. Chopping Block, Horror Pack Limited Edition Blu-ray. Immensely entertaining, 4 out of 5 horrormovies.ca. 5 idiot kidnappers, 1 final girl, and 1 very angry slasher. So just looking at the back, this looks like a really cheap low-budget film. When Donnie forgets to turn in an important report at work, he gets himself and his whole team fired by their new boss. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and the 5 newly unemployed coworkers decide to kidnap the boss's daughter for ransom. That's a totally reasonable move. Things go from bad to worse, and the boss's daughter turns out to be the final girl of a homicidal slasher out for blood. Also starring Jace Sams, I believe that says, who was in VHS, Raymond Kester, Brian Wilson, Haley J. Madison, Alex Rand, and Cliff Edens. Actually sounds like an interesting plot. We'll have to see how this one turns out. This one isn't signed or anything, it's just they must have the exclusive rights to the Blu-ray or something. Alright, last one. This one is from... Oh! People were guessing this. I'm trying to remember the name. It's the Town That Dreaded Sundown. The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Alright. I do already own this one for sure. And it's one you can find pretty cheap. For the producers of Paranormal Activity and Insidious, and the co-creator of American Horror Story, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, Sick and Bloody. I have actually seen this one. It takes place in the same town as the original Town That Dreaded Sundown. And, I mean, this is kind of like a sequel, I guess you would call it. It takes place later, and they have knowledge of all the events from the first movie. And there's like a copycat killer or whatever you want to call it. We'll just read this real quick. 65 years after the series of brutal slayings terrorized the small town of Texarkana, the Moonlight murders suddenly begin again. While on a trip to Lover's Lane, the 17-year-old Jamie watches as her date is brutally slain by a masked serial killer. Barely escaping with her life, she becomes obsessed with finding the man referred to as the Phantom. As the body count climbs and the carnage comes closer, Jamie delves deeper into the mystery, following clues that point her towards the killer's true identity, starring Anthony Anderson, Gary Cole, Edward Herman, Joshua Leonard, Dennis O'Hare, Travis Cope, and Veronica Cartwright. The Town That Dreaded Sundown puts Texarkana back on the map for all the wrong reasons. I don't know. I haven't watched the Blu-ray since I bought it. I did watch this on... What was it, on Netflix or Amazon Instant Video or whatever it was on? I think it was on Netflix, like before you could buy it. And I wasn't that impressed with it. I didn't think it was that great of a movie. I found the plot to be a little confusing and a little, like, if you just think of I Know What You Did Last Summer, where it's just like, you're like, does this even make sense? I'd have to watch it again to really say, and I can say pretty much that I Know What You Did Last Summer doesn't make a lot of sense. But this one, I'd have to rewatch it. I just remember thinking the story was just so confusing, and like they were trying to trick you or something. And I think my favorite thing of this whole thing is this artwork. I kept trying to find this at poster. I think it's such a great artwork where the guy is standing there with a knife, and then the background is kind of like trees, but it's a face with a sundown or a sunset or whatever you want to call it. I love that artwork. I think that artwork is amazing, and I would love to have that on a poster, but I don't think they made any. I haven't been able to find any. So, there is this month's horror pack. What do you guys think of this month? I would probably say this was one of the lower quality months that I've seen, just because, I mean, this one, Chopping Block, it's their exclusive, but I'm really questioning the quality of this one just by the artwork on it. And this one's from Scream Factory, but I've never heard of it. It sounds kind of interesting. The guy is like a stalker, and he finds out somebody else is stalking him or stalking this other girl. I'm not sure I understood that. This is actually from 2013. I don't know what to think about that one. Have you guys seen that one? Of course, George A. Romero's Diary of the Dead. This is from those Dimension Extremes, though, which, I don't know. I think this movie was okay, but all those Dimension Extremes are like movies that people wouldn't buy very often, just like the serious collectors, you know what I mean? And then The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I think this was a pretty subpar movie, and not one that I enjoyed too much. But still, the value is definitely there. for only $25. You're only looking at $6 a movie, you know, $6.25 a movie. So it's not too bad. I mean, I know I've seen this less than that, but I'm not sure I've ever seen Diary of the Dead less than $6. And I don't know about this one. It's pretty cool. It came with a slipcover at least. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know any of your thoughts down in the comments section below. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, click subscribe and check out the suggested videos. And I'll see you guys next time.